Arundel lady well. I'm not ashamed to confess that I think the first female president of this country, I don't know who it's going to be, when it's going to be, but she's an Arundel lady. She has worked on projects ranging from installing new manufacturing lines, restoring collapsed structures, and constructing staff housing projects. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Cape Town and a Master's of Sustainable Energy from the University of Queensland in Australia. She's married to Mr. Mukanga. Thank you, Mr. Mukanga, for coming this morning. You're welcome. Who is a serial entrepreneur, and together they are into poultry farming and manufacturing and supply of scientific equipment. In her spare time, she enjoys a good round of golf and facilitates, this is a strange one, a grade 3 Sunday school class at church. I introduce and call upon Persy to address the class of 2022.
I need to confess I'm really nervous. If you're all in work suits, I would be very comfortable. Thank you, Ms. Shawatu, for the glowing introduction. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, members of staff. And thank you, Father, for being here. So like introduced, my name is Perseverance. People call me Persy. So if you see me in the road, you can say, hi, Persy. I'm generally a friendly person, quiet, and like what Ms. Shawatu said, 13 years ago, I was just a girl, sitting like you guys, wearing a brown blazer, turquoise skirt, whoever came up with that idea. So today, I'm really privileged to speak to the upper sixes. I guess they're on my right. I am very proud and excited to speak to you ladies. I feel very privileged to come today, to come back. It does something to you when you get to reflect where you've come from and actually see where you were a decade ago. It does something for you. So thank you. You're doing more for me than I am doing for you. So today I'm going to speak to three things. And I have to start with the jacarandas are blooming. I guess it has the same effect that it had. The jacarandas are blooming, and it means it's crunch time, particularly for the exam classes. And this is an important milestone, especially for the upper sixes. So you need to do what you just have to do. Like Nike says, just do it. For me, it meant I had to burn the midnight oil when I was in high school. For me, doing all-nighters was a normal. For me to be where I am now, I had to put in the hard work. For others, they just have to attend class, do their homework, do the revisions, and they'll be fine. But you need to know, how do you bring out the best from yourself? So if you have to do, I want to speak to is about knowing yourself. Up to this point, you all have had to wear the same uniform, same hat, same shoes, same classes, read through the same content. So we all kind of think, everyone kind of thinks alike, because you're being exposed to the same content again and again. But for the upper sixes, this is where the game changes. You won't have anyone wearing the same clothes as you. You won't have 30 or 50 other ladies doing the same thing that you're doing. From here onwards, you're gonna be alone. I mean, you're not gonna be alone, but I think you get the point. This is where your difference really counts. I remember in careers when I was in lower six, a lady came, she was the head of the United States Education Advisory Center at that time. And she asked us, how many of you want to be medical doctors? And about 3/4 of the class raised their hand. And we're all like, we want to be medical doctors. I think because Arundel has always been historically scientific, like strong on sciences. Most of us wanted a career in medicine. But today, in my class, less than 15% of us ended up being medical doctors. Unfortunately, I had to actually try out medicine to find out that I didn't like medicine. I dropped out, I think, after a semester or so. So my point with that is a lot of our future aspirations are going to look the same now, but are probably not the same. And for you to know where you stand and to have a clearer picture of where you're going to end up, you need to know yourself. You need to be self-aware. You need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, what drives you, what energizes you, what makes you mad. What do you look at and think, man, if I could do something about this, I would be happy. For me, I looked at the skyline in Harare and I couldn't see a crane. I had visited Cape Town, I had been to the US by the time I was upper six, and I'd noticed that there's a huge gap. There's no cranes. Cranes, when you see high cranes, it tells you the construction profile. So like I say, sitting next to the lady who's right next to you is privilege. Because you're sitting next to the next influential who, I know it might not seem like it because we are in our brown and turquoise, but I promise you guys, you're sitting next to the next influential. Like what Ms. Shawati said, I'm also convinced that the first female president will be an Arundel lady. I'm sure of it as well. So that is a privilege. Leverage on the friendships you've made here at Arundel. Keep in contact. Encourage, share, and inspire each other. The light that Arundel has ignited in you will just continue to shine brighter and brighter. The season of life that you'll enter next, upper sixes, is even more difficult. But I promise you, that's when that light shines even brighter. So upper sixes, well done. Well done for surviving Arundel. It's not easy. Well done for surviving COVID. And well done for what you will achieve, because I'm sure you're going to achieve great and amazing things. In conclusion, I really hope that each day that goes by, what drives us is the ideal that we are here for a purpose. I personally believe that God is weaving a beautiful tapestry with our lives. And that is to save or heal the world in one way or the other. So whatever you do, you don't have to wait until you're an amazing engineer or lawyer or whatever. Every day is a chance to impact the next person, impact your families, impact your communities in a positive light. It doesn't start when you're older. It starts now. Let not our holiday activities and extra out of school just be about going to Queen of Hearts and Bottom Drawer and eating nice sushi. We are privileged for a reason. Like it says in James chapter 1, verse 17. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Father. So you're privileged.